Guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are finally here with Clay Aeschliman of Polyphia. And yes, I did a little bit of research to learn how to pronounce his last name correctly. I apologize that it took a while to get to Clay. He has been a request for quite a while on the channel, but we are finally here, and we're going to be checking out G.O.A.T. I noticed that the drum playthrough that he did for G.O.A.T had, I think like 1.4 million views on it. So normally when I see a video that's got like that many views from a particular artist, I like to try to pick something else that might not be quite as popular or trendy to react to. But in this case, I am kind of curious to see what all the fuss is about. Because I'm only somewhat familiar with Polyphia, this will be a fresh reaction for me, and I definitely haven't heard this song before. So everything that you're going to see is just going to be my first impression and an organic take on the music that I'm taking in. But before we dive into the video, I do want to read a very, very short excerpt from Modern Drummer magazine. It was written by Travis Poston, and apparently he interviewed Clay and asked him just some basic questions about his bio. So I just want to take a second to read that, just so that myself and the audience can get a little more understanding as to Clay's background. Okay, so the article reads as follows. Hi, my name is Clay Aeschliman, and I've been playing drums for Polyphia for 2.5 years now. I got my start drumming in high school, where I marched quads for 3 years. I was fortunate enough to go to a very competitive high school, so drum lines were taken very seriously. I also played a lot of sports, so my experience with drums didn't really go beyond that of drumline. I was never in bands, and although I've always had a passion for music, I never imagined it would be my career. After high school, I attended college and pursued a degree in logistics and pretty much didn't touch a pair of sticks for the better part of 5 years. It wasn't until after I graduated and had a corporate job for 2 years that I picked up the kit. I quit my corporate job, which I hated, and started practicing 6 to 8 hours a day and joined some local bands to gain some experience. I was 25 years old when I played my first show. I fell in love, and ever since, drums have been my main focus. The most exciting part of drumming for me is continuing to push myself to get better. I've had the chance to tour with a lot of great drummers and look at it all as a learning experience. Guys like Mike Mitchell, Devin Taylor, Eric Moore, and Matt Garska have really been my inspiration for pushing myself. Their sense of flow, timing, independence, creativity, and sheer chops are truly incredible. I came to join Polyphia by being in the right place at the right time and not turning down opportunities, despite being nervous or inexperienced. I was in a local Dallas band called Windwalker, and we played regularly in the DFW area. Through that band, I had a connection with the metal band Invent Animate, who reached out to me to fill in on drums for them for the Texas in July farewell tour. At this point, the biggest crowd I had played to was maybe 35 people. Nevertheless, I accepted the offer and went on my first tour. With Polyphia, I try to focus on blending different techniques to make a unique sound that stands out. I take elements of trap drums, usually used in hip-hop, electronic style music, and incorporate gospel chops and grooves. Okay, so that was just a little bit of backstory on Clay. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and check out this drumming playthrough of G.O.A.T. This is an interesting start. So up front, I will make a few pauses in the video to comment and talk about my analysis on what I'm hearing. If you don't care for any of that, the link to the original video will be in the description, as it always is with my videos. So this intro is very interesting. It's definitely not something that you typically would hear with rock or metal. You typically hear elements like that, like for intros for like hip hop songs or rap songs, not typically in like the rock genre. So already very interesting. Also, the guitars, just at the immediate first impression for them, I can't hear like any distortion or anything like that. They're very clean and melodically paint like a very interesting picture that I'm curious to see is going to carry throughout the entire song. So let's see. Yeah, I can already tell this is going to be one of those songs that I would have to listen to at least a couple times because I'm probably going to miss something just listening to it once. Drumming wise, this is some very good pocket groove playing, and it's definitely not what you would expect as far as like rock grooves or anything of that nature. A few progressive elements in here, but there's definitely some influence taken from other genres as well, clearly. There's a lot of precision in his note.
Boom, perfect timing.
And just the way that his kit sounds, like his toms have a lot of body to them, and it really kind of lends itself well to the contrast of just how clean and almost subdued the guitar parts are too. It's almost like musically, without like hearing like vocals or anything like that normally would take the show in a section like this, it leaves more room for the instrumentation, and I believe that the band knows that, so they definitely capitalize on that. Before we get into the next section, that previous section, it sounded kind of like it was all part of one verse. So for a verse section, it was a little longer than normal. So I can already tell that they are going outside the box as far as like the song, like a normal song structure. The use of his ghost notes and how he throws in like triplet patterns in there very much offer a strong contrast against the, again, like I mentioned earlier, the more subdued kind of guitar rhythms. It's almost like the guitar parts and the bass parts are kind of like setting the foundation for the drumming, and normally it's somewhat the other way around, like the bass and the drums set the foundation for the guitars. But this is clearly meant to bend the rules of whatever genre that this song would. To be honest, I'm not even sure what genre to even put this in, because there's elements of a few different things in here. So they're definitely doing some bending and warping as far as that's concerned. Sonically, it sounds really cool. It's very pleasant to listen to. And there's also like some interesting processing effects going on in the song too, which kind of vary up the sonic palette, so to speak, on the song. But as far as just the technical aspects of Clay's drumming, I do like what I'm hearing. Got some triplet patterns thrown in there, cymbal accents with like quarter note pauses to kind of put a sense of anticipation in his grooves and with his backbeat. Yeah, so all in all, very cool. And I do like what I'm hearing with his chops. want to make one quick note. That previous section where you could hear more of the bass, honestly, the bass kind of took over the rhythms of the string instruments. Because there's so little happening with the rest of the song, as far as like the guitars are concerned, when you had that bass coming in, and it sounded like it had some post-processing crunch to it, not a lot, just a little bit. But in contrast to the way the rest of the song is, that made that part clearly sound a little more intense. It wasn't necessarily like chock full of a whole bunch of like crazy rhythms or distortion from the guitars or anything like that to add heaviness, but the intensity of it sonically definitely was different than the previous sections. So that was a very cool sounding track. Very different than what I typically listen to, I will admit. But the musician in me definitely appreciates what I heard. The effects in it, very cool. The way that the intro and the outro sounded with like the synths, that was very neat to hear as well. And that right there kind of like captures the essence, like, okay, we're doing something that's gonna weave in between some genres here. So it cues you into that right out the gate. Clay's drumming, super tight. Like the way that his chops and his grooves were, like I read in the bio how he admired like the fluidity of like Eric Moore and like Matt Garska. Clearly he has personified that in his playing, and it's very impressive to see. I like his use of the toms. It definitely serves him well having the background as a quads player in marching band. Because the quads, for those that don't know, you can think of it like the toms of a drum set, except you wear them, obviously. And yeah, this was really cool. I'm going to have to check out some more by Polyphia, though. I almost wish the track was a little bit longer. It feels like it could have went for like another 3 minutes or so. But it looks like there's actually a couple more minutes left of this video, so let me let it run and see what's going on here.
Hi, I'm Clay Aeschliman, and these are the cymbals you just saw me play. From left to right, classic custom 12-inch trash stack, pure alloy 14-inch medium hi-hats, pure alloy 10-inch splash, Byzance 18-inch dual crash, Generation X 8-inch 10-inch electro stack, pure alloy 18-inch medium crash, Byzance 21-inch dark ride, Byzance fat stack, Byzance traditional 20-inch medium crash,
I got that.
Byzance 20-inch equilibrium china.
That's pretty cool. You don't really see too many videos where the drummer will give you a quick rundown of like some of the equipment. So very cool that he did that. And that Byzance that he mentioned, I actually have that cymbal. I don't have the 20-inch, I have the 18-inch version, but I have that right here. It's got a very dry, kind of washy sound to it. So yeah, like I was saying, I will definitely be checking out more by Polyphia. And thank you all for your patience on getting around to this. Very different than what I normally listen to, but I love it. I love looking at like technical drummers like this because it challenges me as a drummer to like really kind of figure out, okay, what am I hearing and how can I interpret it in my own way, even though I primarily understand like the foundation behind metal. It's good to branch out and look at other avenues when it comes down to drumming, because all that's going to do is just make me a more proficient player in my own right. So I love stuff like this. But next, as far as drumming breakdowns and reactions, it's going to be a long-awaited Tomas video. It's going to be Clockworks. That has been requested repeatedly. Every time I bring up Meshuggah in some capacity, Clockworks is mentioned somewhere in the comments. So I've got to go ahead and check that out. And I'm definitely going to have to like have some big brain moments for that one, because Tomas's drumming is, well, it's on a whole nother level. So in any case, if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, I do greatly appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff that you normally hear. Greatly helps my smaller channel out. And as usual, I want to give a big thank you to anybody that's already subscribed and actively engages with the videos. You know that I try to comment and at least interact with all of you when you reach out to me. So just want to let you know that that's hugely appreciated. And yeah, I am going to be trying to do a drum cover next. I'm working on some stuff. Going to be hashing out some stuff tomorrow, probably if I got time. So stay tuned for that as well. I think it's going to be something you all are going to enjoy. So yeah, until next time, guys, take it easy.